Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have another look at Shambhala, and then this will be another team that I did with all Hatcher monsters. And yeah, there are quite a few monsters that are good for Shambhala, so I thought I'd give these guys a try and then show them off to see how they look here. And then this playthrough, I will not go too much into like the strategy or the tactics of the mission. If you want to hear about that, you can look at my first time clear video. But yeah, I will talk about the characters that I'm using. First is Hamelin Transcendent. He is a bounce with a null gravity barrier. And then he does not have a null damage wall, so he'll have to be careful there. And he's got a blast bump combo to help get out other people's bump combos. And then he has a status recovery, which is pretty important for this mission since there's a lot of poison. So yeah, he can heal the people's poison if he hits them. And then he also has a Detox Ableberry, which cuts the poison damage by 90%. And that's excellent. I was very happy to get that Ableberry for him here. And then he is a Dark Element, so he'll take extra damage from these wood attacks. But actually the majority of the damage that we will take during this mission will be from poison, which does not have an element. So it's not as big a deal to have an off-element character in a Colossal Quest. In another Colossal Quest like Nirai Kanai or Avalon, that could be maybe a deal breaker, but not so much here. Okay, next up I'm using Sanada Yukimura, the Transcendent form. And she is another bounce with a null gravity barrier. And then she has a good bump combo. It's a rebound spread. And then this is important because that spread can cover a lot of the screen. And then when she has the sword, that bump combo can do enough damage to take out the eagle guys in, with just the bump combo. So yeah, it's good for her to pick up the sword and then for her to be hit a later turn so that she can take out those eagle guys very quickly. She also has a Counter Slayer, which gives her the Slayer for whomever hit her last. And yeah, more damage is always a good thing. She's one of the best pure attackers in the game. And then she has a Strike Shot, which does extra damage against guys with gravity barriers around them. But actually in this mission, all of the characters with a gravity barrier around them don't really need to have extra damage done to them. So I like to use that Strike Shot as a speed and power up, basically, without worrying about the gravity barrier. And yeah, because it is a speed and power up, it still does decent damage against everybody. And then I'll go back and talk about Hamelin. I forgot one thing. He also has a speed and power up Strike Shot, but it has the additional benefit of getting rid of gravity barriers. And yeah, for that reason, actually, Hamelin and Sanada are not good on a team together. Because Hamelin erases gravity barriers, but Sanada Yukimura gets extra damage from gravity barrier characters with her Strike Shot. But that's easy to get around because, again, there are not a lot of guys with gravity barriers on them in this quest. And then, two, you could just use them on different turns, and that would be fine. Okay, next up I'm using Sakamoto Ryoma, and then he was maybe the best character that I used from my first time clear. He's just very strong, so I thought I would bring him in again. And also I was a little bit concerned about not having a Pierce character. And there is some debate actually for this mission about who is better, bounce or a Pierce, or like a Pierce heavy team or a bounce heavy team. From what I gather, reading JP message boards and things, is that most people like Pierce characters for this mission. But for whatever reason, I prefer bounce. It just seems to work for me, so that's why I have the 3 bounce and 1 Pierce. But yeah, Ryoma is very strong. He's got the Wood Slayer, and then he also has a spread bump combo, which can take down the eagle guys if he has the power-up sword. And then he's got the Command Strike Shot, which can help you clear field. Or if in a particular case where Ryoma does not have a power-up sword, but another character does, he can get that other character moving in order to do damage to whomever. Okay, and then finally I'm using Himiko Evolution, and she has a bounce with null damage wall, and she has the Wood Slayer, and that is passive in her. So she gets the extra damage into her X laser. And then, yeah, with her Wood Slayer and then her very strong bump combo, when she has a sword, she can do pretty scary damage. And I think she's the most damaging bounce character for this mission, even more than Yukimura. And then she does have a, what do you call it? The Chain Meteor Strike Shot. But actually I don't really use it in order to hit as many guys as possible. I use it more for avoiding the magic circles. That is another gimmick that appears in this mission, the last 2 stages. So if there's a place where I absolutely must stay in my original form, then I use a Himiko Strike Shot, and get a little bit of bonus damage from the Chain Meteor. And let's see, Ryoma, he also has the Detox Ableberry, I believe. And actually, I think up to now we have not had too much trouble with our life bar getting too low. Because again, most of the damage is from poison. And then we have a couple guys with Detox, and then Hamelin with the status recovery, of course. But 3 of my guys do not have null damage wall, so like here for example I'm really worried about what to do with Hamelin. So what I'm going to try to do is get up and then on the other side of the Karma, and then hit the healing wall enough times to save myself. And that worked out actually. Kind of risky, but it did work out. But yeah, again I got this other clear here pretty quickly. So again, I'm going to say that Shambhala is not as difficult as many of the other Colossal quests. And yeah, it was kind of fun to hear about other people's impressions about which Colossal quests they felt like were the most difficult. For me, it's still Eden and Yomi. Nirai Kanai and then Avalon, I've played so often that I feel pretty comfortable in them actually. I get a clear maybe once every 3 runs or so. So yeah, I would place those 2 as the easiest, and then Shambhala in the middle somewhere, and then Eden and Yomi at the top. Okay, so here, 2 attacks until the ultimate attack, so I need to do a lot of damage. And yeah, there's Himiko doing a lot of damage with her direct attack. And then, yeah, here finally we are in trouble with our HP, but there's the gold heart, so. Okay, and then we also healed Sanada's poison with Hamelin there. But yeah, earlier today there was that new episode of the Monster Strike anime where Shambhala appears, so that was pretty cool timing. And yeah, big fan of the anime, and I've really been liking the kind of the direction that the latter part of the first season and then the second season have taken. Oh, here I'm going to use Sanada Yukimura's Strike Shot as a speed and power up. So I got a little bit of extra damage on that eagle guy in the upper right, but really I used it just so that I could, you know, zigzag my way all the way to the bottom. And then I also thankfully pinched in between the Karma and the boss, so good damage there. But yeah, kind of the tone of the anime sometimes is very, very goofy and kind of breaks the fourth wall, which I think is it's pretty new for anime. Kind of the Japanese sensibility hasn't really been towards self-parody until very recently. Their sense of humor is developing. But like non sequiturs or just kind of very random asides are very fun in the Monster Strike anime, so I'm enjoying it for that. Okay, definitely do not want to hit that other hand. And then of this team, I would say that Hamelin is the most, well, if he becomes a chick, it matters the least. Because his status recovery will still work, even though he is a chick. So he is not as hurt by that status effect as my other characters. But actually, I looked again at my first clear video, and then I don't think I had anybody turn into a chick once. Actually, I did. One turn, Ryoma became a chick, but he returned that same turn. So I don't know, just luck or something. Never became a chick in that entire run, so that was pretty good. This run is not turning out that way, of course. Okay, decent damage there. Got the boss under the tick mark with the HP, so we buy ourselves a little bit of time. And then with Hamelin, I'm going to try to return to my original form. I do not want to hit the other hand, however. Okay, very good. Okay, still in our original form, so good. Alright, so 2 turns again until the ultimate attack. Alright, well, decent damage, but return back to the chick form. And then here I'm going to rely on Himiko's powered up bump combo in order to do the damage to the boss. And that was pretty great. Okay, last stage, and I would like to hit a guy with a spread bump combo in order to take down the eagle guys. I don't have that, so I'm going to go ahead and use Himiko's strike shot in order to, you know, cancel out the magic circle, and then also take out a couple guys, and also do a little bit of damage to the boss, so that turned out pretty well. And then here with a Hamelin, we are also going to use the strike shot. And yeah, the only gravity barrier that we see is on the basilisk, so we don't need to worry about that, you know, conflicting with Yukimura's strike shot. So here I'm going to try to pick up the sword. Yeah, I got an irregular bound though, and it turned out for nothing. Oh well. Alright, and then with Yukimura here, we are going to go up, and then return to our original form, and then do some damage to the boss. And then there's the Counter Slayer. I guess the last damage that she took was from Shambhala, so... she picks up Bird Slayer, Avian Slayer. Okay, so just a couple more hits on the boss. We'll pick up the sword with Ryoma. That was not very good. And then with Himiko, we should get out that sword, so I'm going to try to take down the eagle guy. Yeah, even though I'm very close to winning here, if I can't get any swords, then I'm a little bit out of luck. Okay, so here for sure I got to take down the sword, or the eagle guy. Okay. Uh-oh, and then here comes the ultimate attack from the boss. And I actually almost turned off the recording, because I thought for sure I was dead. But I didn't die somehow. I wonder if it has to do with the the detox able berries that I had. But anyway, we'll use Yukimura's strike shot as a speed and power up, grab the sword, and then do enough damage to the boss to take him down. So, phew. And there I have 0 hit points. So yeah, that was another look at Shambhala with some other characters. And it was very gratifying to use Hamelin here. He turned out to be pretty good. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.